Well, if you are expected to work with an AutoCAD drawing from an architect, a surveyor, or some other source, and you want to use it as a base plan for your landscape design, we recommend that you first use Autodesk's True View. It's a free application. You can install it quickly and easily, and you can use it as I am here to open a file. This one's called Hepburn, so I can open the file. I get a little preview which is taken directly from the file. AutoCAD and gCADPlus do a little snapshot so we can open it. The snapshot just tells you that you've got the correct drawing. It does not contain any information that's of any use other than just as an indicator, but we'll try and open it. Now, DWG True View, I'm using the 2021 copy here, says that the DWG was saved by an application that wasn't developed or licensed by Autodesk, and they cannot verify the application, but we'll continue to open it, and here's the file. So we even get the same warning there. So what I want to do then is to convert that drawing to a DXF file. That's our recommendation, and our recommendation is to convert to AutoCAD 2007 format. So we'll close and we'll load the file, and I need to go to my C drive because I've made a simple DWG folder like so, and here's my file, and then we simply convert. So that file has now been converted. I'll close, and now that I've had a look at the file and done a 2007 format, I'm going to swing to a different file converter now. Well, this time I'm going to use a different file converter, one published by the Open Design Alliance. It's again a piece of free software, but gives me a lot more control over what I do with the DWG. And I've set it up the same way, an input folder, DWG, so the converted drawing went in there, and I've set up an output folder. But in contrast to what we did earlier, where we just saved an earlier DWG, now my output will be a binary DXF format. DXF is an exchange format, so I'm going to make a 2007 binary DXF file, and I'm going to start the conversion. We'll audit the file as we go. So we're making absolutely sure that this DXF file that we're now going to bring into gCADPlus is nice and clean and one that we'll be able to work with. Well, I've started gCADPlus and use File and change my files of type to DXF and open up the drawing. I'll immediately go File and Save As, and we'll put it on the desktop, and for the moment we'll just call it Test. So it's a LCD file now as Test. I want to draw your attention to this unusual file, because if I look at this particular file, it's called, not file, this particular block, it's got a huge long name, plumbing manifolds, da 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 da. It goes on and on. There are lots of characters in the block name. And as I hope to show you in a little while, let's ignore that for the moment, if we save this drawing, remember it's called Test, and then close it, and then open it again, we get a warning, could not load the file. So some detective work has discovered that it's this application, which was developed in AutoCAD or an AutoCAD clone, has used incredibly long block names in the file. And as I'll try and show you in a moment, that's what's causing this could not load. We've got a corrupt file because the data that we started with was corrupt. Well, let's try that process again. I've loaded the converted files, still at DXF at the moment. I haven't bothered to save as an LCD, but just have a look at plumbing and manifolds again, and we'll try renaming. can you see that there is an unusual character in the file? It looks as though that shouldn't be there, so let's just take it out and we'll say, okay, so all we've done is make one change. We have renamed that particular block. So we'll close, and then we'll do what we did before, file and save as. We want it as an LTD file, and we'll make it test. And I'll again close gCADPlus, and I'll open the test file or drawing again, and lo and behold, it opens beautifully. So I hope that illustrates to you the problems that you can run into when you bring drawings from an outside source. The number of characters in that block name exceeds the limit that's in gCADPlus, but it also has that particular character in there, as I've found is part of the Korean, similar to the Japanese kanji set. It's part of the Korean character set. So in our view, there's no real way that we can program gCADPlus to work around information like this that comes in. So a word of warning, try and follow the procedures here. You've got a foreign drawing, a DWG, you brought it in, converted it to DXF, sucked it into gCADPlus without doing any extra work, just save it, then open it again, close and open again, and if you cannot open that file, it's not a problem with gCADPlus. You need to go back and look, as we did, into the block names, and you need to look very carefully for two things: the length of the block name, and then carefully go through the block name itself, looking for unusual characters, and if you find them, remove them. That's the best advice that I think I can give you when you run into a problem such as this.